Tomorrow night they're going to crown a new world heavyweight champion, and everybody's had their opinion about this championship. And as we get closer to crowning a new world champion, everybody that's been in defense of Roman retaining at WrestleMania are starting to kind of see exactly what others have said about that being a mistake. Because now we're on the verge of having not one but three world championships in existence simultaneously. Two currently held by Roman Reigns, and the new one either going to be held by Seth Rollins or AJ Styles. Now, I understand where people like Jason Solomon, the Solomon Monster, is coming from. And like I said, others that were in defense of WWE going with Roman are now starting to see that as well. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And I know it may sound like an excuse, all right? But when I look at the fact that they're putting the belt on either Rollins or Styles, they're doing it specifically because of the fact that, of course, they want to make sure there's a world champion for Monday Night Raw. There's no doubt. But I think there might be a catch to this. And that catch is you go back to what Triple H said when he introduced it. He said a champion that would defend anywhere, any place, anytime. Keyword, anywhere, anywhere, anytime, any place. Any day. So when I look at him saying a champion that's going to defend anywhere, or a champion that's going to defend any place, anytime, that to me is Triple H's keyword of saying, a secret keyword and signal of saying, hey, Roman doesn't want to be around, that's fine. Guess what, SmackDown? You're still going to have a world champion because the guy that's going to be world champion for Raw will also show up on SmackDown as well. And I think that's why they are including AJ SmackDown talent, this is why I should say they included SmackDown talent into the tournament as well. Not just because WWE wanted it or NBC Universal wanted it or Fox wanted it. No, they did it mainly because they realized that even though it goes against what they're promoting with the draft and everything, they realized that they need to fill a void that even Fox wants to see filled. And that's having a champion on their brand on a weekly basis, on a constant basis. Which is why when you look back and you hear what Triple H had to say, and he points out a champion that you could be proud of that would defend the championship all over the world, anytime, any place, anywhere, against anyone. That to me is key for saying he'll also show up on SmackDown. He might occasionally show up on NXT, but mostly he'll show up on SmackDown at times outside of mostly being on Raw. Like he'll primarily be a Raw champion, but there will be occasions like when Roman is gone or Roman's not around, and maybe Fox is saying, "Hey, we want a world champion here. We don't like seeing Raw and USA having it." That's when I think they're going to send the champion over to SmackDown. So to me, that's why they also included SmackDown talent, because even if AJ doesn't win, Seth Rollins will mostly be a Raw guy, but there will be times he'll show up on SmackDown as well to fill in the void that Roman is, leaving behind when he's not around. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But, I get where people, though, are coming from by saying that, all they had to do was give Cody the win at WrestleMania, have Cody separate the belts and everything, and, Cody could be champion on SmackDown or Raw, and the other championship could be decided in a tournament, and there you go, problem solved. But again, it's all based. But again, it's based on a situation that essentially, WWE, and some people will blame Vince McMahon, and they have a right to, put themselves in because that temptation to get Roman Reigns to 1,000 days, as I mentioned in my preview one time, for WrestleMania this year, or one video in a previous video for WrestleMania this year, that temptation was too much. Basically, that temptation overwhelmed them and overpowered them and basically said, "Hey, I'm more important for you to accomplish for you to make a reality than putting the belt on Cody right now at WrestleMania. I'm more important. Come to me, come to me." And in the end, it won out. It won out. So obviously that's why we have this championship. It's not just because maybe it was something they had in the works, maybe not. We're not really sure. Or basically the fact that they wanted to go with Cody, but that temptation of we'll close to 1,000 days, was too overwhelming for them. You know, whatever the case is, I will admit they should have planned this out better. I mean, I think all of us would have been more, accepting of a double pin to where, storyline wise, because of the double pin, you could separate the belts that way and you don't have nothing to worry about. So I think we would have been more okay with that at Mania, to where by a double pin, you have double winners, a draw, and then you can have Triple H or Adam Pearce come out and say, because of the result, Cody is champion of Raw with the WWE title, Roman is champion of SmackDown with the Universal title, and there you go. End of story. End of story. But they didn't do that. They decided to go with what they did because the temptation, it was too much for them, and as a result of feeding into that temptation, we got the World Heavyweight Championship being decided tomorrow night in Night of Champions. But I also look, but again, I look at it as the fact that they probably are going to, most, on some occasions, not all the time, but some of the occasions, they are going to put the champion over on SmackDown to fill in the void, the gaps that Roman would leave behind when he's not around, or when he goes on his sabbatical, whenever that will be. But yeah, I don't think, but yeah, I get what people feel, how they feel about the World Championship and everything. I get where others that, felt that WWE made a mistake in not putting the belt on Cody at WrestleMania. I get where you're coming from now. Everybody that was defensive about, Roman winning at Mania and waiting till SummerSlam, they're getting it now. They understand it now. And yeah, again, like I said, we could have been okay with a double pin. That could have been a draw and separated the belts that way, but they didn't do that because, like I said, that temptation to get to 1,000 days was just too much for them. It was. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. What do you think the reasoning was? Comment down below. Live chat during the premiere. Like the video. And until next time, guys, I will talk to y'all later.